Hebrews 9:27. As it is appointed unto man once to die, but after this the judgment. Once I was in Colombia when, for God's plan, I met a taxi driver called Aaron. Aaron was a Venezuelan Colombian, like so many other citizens of Colombia at this time. This big young man with countless tattoos and a smile on his face became, by a series of coincidences, or better yet, God's plans, my driver in those few days. On the way back from one of the services, I called him so he could take me back to the hotel. While on our way, as usual, we started talking, and without any complaints, I just realized that Aaron actually had a problem with one of his legs and that he was walking with some difficulty. Aaron had come with his mother to Colombia and had to submit himself to begging on the streets like dozens of other children we see every day due to a social political crisis in Latin America. He did not complain about it. He just answered to my questions. He suggested that I should always call him to drive me, as local drivers would lie about prices since I was a foreigner. So I asked him to come the next morning to pick me up at the hotel. He said he would spend the night driving and then pick me up in the morning. He needed to drive all night long to make enough money to basically pay for his survival the next day. And then, by a whisper of God, instead of paying for the regular fare, I handed him the amount that would cover all night. And I said, "Pick me up at 10 in the morning, Aaron. Don't be late. We're going to the service together." He started looking for change, not understanding what was going on. In response to the confused expression on his face, I told him all his night rides were paid for and he should go home. The other day, skeptical of my friend's punctuality or even his coming, I went down to the hotel lobby, and while I was waiting, I looked at the avenue that was usually busy. This morning the street was empty. I thought to myself, Aaron won't come. I went outside and noticed that the street was completely closed and cars weren't allowed to pass. I waited a little longer, and when there was a minute left for the scheduled time, I saw a young man who was running with difficulty, shouting, "Pastor, Pastor, I'm here." Happy that Aaron had indeed come despite the difficulties that had strangely arisen that morning. As I got into the car, Aaron told me, "Pastor, I have to tell you something. When you handed me the money, a voice spoke to me. I buy your time." We cried in that taxi as we went to the service, and today, somewhere in Colombia, there is a young man that God bought his time, just so that he could surrender at an altar. Time is our scarcest resource. Nobody has time to spare. After all, we only have one life, and the clock is ticking. Time is a quantifier created by God so that humanity can understand the finitude that sin has imposed on us. But for God, time is not finite. Time is not decisive, for He and He alone can buy it. For as much as you know that ye were not redeemed with corruptible things, as silver and gold, from your vain conversations received by tradition from your fathers, but with the precious blood of Christ, as of a lamb without blemish and without spot. How is your day today? How are your plans for the holidays? Do you have time to talk to Jesus? We only have one life, and He offers you today, "I buy your time." He is waiting for you.